Top food that I have throughout every pregnancy. And it's a great source of folate, magnesium, B vitamins, vitamin E, and antioxidants. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am so happy to have you here. And just like a little bit about me, I've been a plant-based vegan for 15 years now. I've had 4 wonderfully healthy vegan pregnancies, raising healthy plant-based children, and this is going to be our 5th baby, and we're just so excited. And I get questions all the time about how to eat for a healthy pregnancy and what I do to stay like well nourished and feeling my best, because I really do feel so good in my pregnancies, and I am just so grateful for the opportunity to grow life in my womb one more time. I think it is so important to nourish our bodies well, both pre-conception and also while we're pregnant, so that we're feeling our best, having great digestion, consistent energy and stable mood, and just overall loving our food, feeling great, and having like healthy hair and everything to support our body while we're growing a baby. We want to eat in a way that is going to help baby grow best, and also that we're loving our food. I hope you find this video helpful, so that as you navigate throughout your pregnancy, I hope that these give you some ideas to include really nutrient-dense foods that are going to help you feel your best. So the first one that is an absolute must on foods that I eat every single week or drink is fresh coconut water. And if you don't have access to fresh coconuts, you can get bottled coconut water as well, or try Asian markets and get some young Thai coconuts. Coconut water is an amazing source of electrolytes and is also filled with a lot of minerals, which is integral for you throughout your pregnancy and also pre-conception and post-baby as well, to replenish the minerals that are lost, because it takes a lot out of your body. So you need to replenish and really focus on mineral-rich foods, and coconut water is one of those main ones for me. Coconut water has many trace minerals that many people are lacking in their diet, including potassium, magnesium, and even vitamin C. A lot of people don't eat enough fresh fruits and vegetables, but coconut water is just a great way to hydrate throughout your pregnancy, because for one, it tastes amazing and it gives you lots of stable energy. It feels incredible in your body. And for two, because it has so many minerals and electrolytes, and it's just so good for you. So coconut water is definitely a top food that I have throughout every pregnancy. So good. The next one is omega-3 rich seeds like hemp seeds, flax seeds, and chia seeds. I eat a lot of these seeds in my smoothies and my salad dressings, and I make homemade plant milk with hemp seeds in it. The omega-3 rich foods, as you probably already know, are incredible and very important for healthy brain development of the baby, and also very good for yourself as well. So I pour lots of flax seeds into my smoothies, and they're really easy to add throughout your day in lots of different kinds of foods. When I do baking, making muffins or cookies, I put ground flax seeds in the mixture. I like to put it in lots of different things throughout our day. These are big staples in my diet for sure. Dulse. Dulse is a sea vegetable, which is a great source of iodine, which is important for thyroid function during pregnancy. This is actually a nutrient that I think often gets overlooked and missed and forgotten about, but iodine is so important for our overall health, and dulse is an excellent source of it for us. So we include dulse in our salads and put it on top of our curries as well. We really love the flavor, and it's just great with like a rich tahini dressing and dark leafy greens and avocado and tomatoes. It's our favorite way to enjoy dulse. We put it in our kids' salads and eat it throughout the week every week. So eat sea vegetables, but specifically dulse, which is extra high in iodine, or wakame as well. Wakame? I forget how to call it, but that one doesn't taste as good. Dulse is the best tasting. Thyroid hormones are important for bone and brain development of the baby, so I definitely recommend getting some sea vegetables in your diet, specifically dulse, while you're pregnant. And we just sprinkle it on top of our salads, like a little handful throughout the week. You really actually don't need that much, but you just want to get it consistently. The next one is fresh orange juice. Orange juice has a lot of vitamins and minerals, specifically vitamin C, which helps the absorption of iron. So eat vitamin C rich foods like oranges or lime or lemon with iron rich foods like dark leafy greens. So you can squeeze lemon on your dark leafy greens in your salad for extra iron absorption. But aside from all that, I love fresh orange juice because it gives me energy, it tastes incredible, and increases your satisfaction in your foods, because we're supposed to be loving our food. We're supposed to be eating sweet fruit, sweet foods that satisfy us. We're supposed to be eating carbohydrate-rich foods that is very satisfying to us. Because whenever you're told to avoid sugar, a lot of times people lump processed sugar with fresh fruit, which is just not a good idea. Definitely a no-go. Fresh fruit is one of the healthiest foods for us and very satisfactory, high in fiber, high in water content, vitamins and minerals. So you want to be eating fresh, sweet fruit because it's very satisfying and good for our energy levels. And also on top of it, oranges contain nutrients that support our adrenals and thyroid function. And if it's not orange season for you, you can also pick other types of hydrating fruits like watermelon. Watermelon is a great one to go for. Fresh, cold watermelon juice, ugh, you cannot beat it. You can even freeze like lime juice into ice cubes, and then when you make fresh watermelon juice, add the lime ice cubes into your juice, and it tastes so incredible. Beans and lentils, which are high in fiber, iron, protein, magnesium, potassium, folate, a lot of great minerals and vitamins there for you. Plus it's protein rich, which is so good for you and filling. It's a great way to balance your meals throughout the day. So I like to generally include lentils in our dinners at some point, sometimes even at lunches. So we eat plenty of different beans and lentils throughout our day and week, including kidney beans, red lentils, green lentils, black beans, pinto beans. We like to mix it up. We also like to soak them dry and make from scratch. They're a lot cheaper that way. And then you save on the cans, which every once in a while though, we will use the cans as a backup and when we forgot to soak our beans. The next one I want to mention, which just goes along with eating beans and lentils in general, is eating healthy whole grains, but specifically quinoa. Quinoa is a wonderful addition to being a staple throughout your pregnancy because it's more nutritious than, say, white rice. It's high in protein, especially for a grain. It's high in fiber, and it's a great source of folate, iron, magnesium, and zinc, which is a really important one, especially throughout pregnancy. I love to add quinoa into my home-baked granolas. That's a recipe in my Epic Vegan Food ebook. I highly recommend. I make this homemade granola all the time. It's super nutritious. The kids love it. I love it. And it's a very easy, like fast snack when I'm wanting to eat something really nutritious and filling. A little tip too, if you're making like a whole grain to complement whatever dinner you're making, like a lentil soup or something, and you want to make rice on the side, you can do half quinoa, half rice, and it tastes super delicious that way. It's got that little earthy, nutty flavor, but you also got those other grains to mix with it. The kids love it that way, and I love it too. This one you're gonna love, homemade coconut milk ice cream. And I know this is like such a typical pregnancy food, but it's really delicious and super good for you. So instead of going to the Baskin-Robbins or Cold Stone, make something that's homemade from scratch with nutrient-rich plant foods, whole foods that are really good for you and taste incredible. It has coconut milk, which you can use canned full-fat coconut milk. It's so easy to make. You just freeze it into ice cubes, blend it with maple syrup and fresh dates, or just like regular dried dates that you can buy, and some vanilla. Then you just put it in the freezer, you stir it once an hour until for like 4 hours. You just like set an alarm, stir it once an hour, give it like a quick stir, have a taste while you're stirring it. And before you know it, it makes this incredible ice cream. It's like so delicious, you guys. The kids are obsessed with it and we just eat as much as we want. I'll just give the bowl to the kids and be like, have as much as you want. It's so good for you and so delicious. So these types of foods are so great to have on hand while you're pregnant because instead of reaching for the processed stuff or the really unhealthy foods that just don't have a lot of nutrients in it, even if you only make a couple foods from scratch like this a week, it's gonna make a difference in your overall well-being because you're filling your body with foods that have a lot of nutrition in them. Coconut milk is a really healthy fat and it's rich in folate, iron, surprisingly, and also zinc. I cannot recommend sweet potatoes enough, and also squashes and other root vegetables too, but sweet potatoes especially are an excellent source of beta carotene, which your body converts into vitamin A, which is essential for baby's development. They're highly nutritious, a great source of fiber, vitamins, and minerals, and I love to enjoy them in soups or baked in salt and garlic to dip in guacamole. Keeping along with the healthy fats, let's talk about avocado. Avocado is something I eat every single day, probably 2 meals a day. I love to have avocado added on top of our salads, added on top of our lentil soups, added on our tacos, our burritos. It just is a great addition to every meal, in my opinion, almost every savory meal. It's filling, it's satiating, it's filled with healthy fats, and it's a great source of folate, magnesium, B vitamins, vitamin E, and antioxidants. We get local avocados here, just like we do with coconuts, but not everybody has access to local avocados, so just do the best you can, or you can just eat different kinds of healthy fats, like from nuts and seeds. Alright, if you followed me for any amount of time, you know I'm not going to forget this one. Dark leafy greens. I eat plenty of those tender leafy greens like butter lettuce, red leaf lettuce, green leaf lettuce, arugula. Actually, I don't know if arugula is really considered a tender leafy green. That one's a great one. It's bitter, it's really high in nutrients, but I also really love the cruciferous vegetables, the kale, the collard greens, also the spinach, baby spinach, and I pack these in my smoothies every day. Or I make fresh green juice. If you're feeling like you can't do a lot of greens, especially in the first trimester where food aversions sometimes happen for people, then I recommend trying to make a mild green juice with apple and cucumber and add some kale or spinach to that. That generally goes over pretty well if you make it sweet enough, and you can even put some pineapple in there. And I love the cucumber. It's so hydrating and so good for you. I make dark leafy greens a definite focus throughout my pregnancy, and also before I'm pregnant and after, to replenish those minerals. It's one of those things that is like a very important part of my diet, is eating lots of dark leafy greens. A lot of times it's easy to overlook the importance of leafy greens, and maybe you'll have a side salad with your meal or sprinkle some kale on something like a lentil dish. But I feel like the benefits of including lots of dark leafy greens just is immeasurable. It's rich in lots of vitamins and minerals, but specifically calcium, magnesium, and vitamin K, which are important for bone health. So the best ways that I enjoy my greens is either in a salad with healthy fats paired with it, like lots of tahini, some lemon juice, avocado, fresh tomatoes, different veggies, raw onions is great in a salad, or you can add it into your smoothies. And I generally like to do both throughout the day. I don't get a salad every single day. Sometimes I'll find myself towards the end of the day being like, I really wanted to make a salad, but I just didn't make the time for it. But if earlier in the day I make the time to just prep the salad, and I just have it sitting there in a bowl, the greens are waiting for me, and I have the veggies on top, and all I have to do is add the dressing when I'm ready to go, I'm much more likely to eat a salad every day. Find ways to enjoy greens that taste good to you, but be gentle on yourself. If you're in here in the first trimester and you're having food aversions, that's totally okay and normal. It's very common. Some people even have food aversions throughout their whole pregnancy, which is one reason why I'd recommend eating a lot of greens pre-conception, to just really prepare your body with lots of mineral stores as you go into pregnancy. But it's definitely something I make a priority, and I feel really good eating. There are certain times when I'm like, oh, I do not want a dark green smoothie. That's okay, but I make it a priority throughout my week, and I love the taste of greens. I love the way I feel, and salads especially, incredible for digestion. A lot of people have this misconception that raw veggies are just terrible for your digestion. But if that's how you're feeling, I recommend you go check out Dr. Will Bolsowitz. He's an incredible gastroenterologist and wrote the book Fiber Fueled. He talks all about the importance of plant-based diversity, and I find that chewing well and slowly and being conscious throughout your meals and how you're chewing is incredible for your digestion. So hope you find that helpful. Check out that book. And also, while we're just talking about books, check out The Proof is in the Plants. That's another great plant-based book that I love. And also Hold, Rethinking the Science of Nutrition by nutritional biochemist T. Colin Campbell. Those are like my top 3 books that I'd recommend for someone who's first looking to get inspiration to eat more whole plant food. And while we're on the topic of gut health, another food I really want to recommend is fermented foods like sauerkraut, coconut yogurt, or other plant-based yogurts, and sourdough bread. I love fresh baked sourdough bread. It tastes delicious, it digests wonderfully for us, and it's fermented, so it has that added benefit compared to other breads, and we love sauerkraut. These foods are all incredible for your gut health. When we have time, we make our own cabbage sauerkraut with purple cabbage or green cabbage, but other than that, we just buy it at the store if we don't make the time for it. So this isn't really a food, but more just a tip, is to put cucumber in cold water. A lot of times people struggle to get enough water throughout their day, but it's so important to stay hydrated while you're pregnant, whether you're pregnant or not, but especially while you're pregnant. And if you're eating like plenty of other hydrating rich foods like the fresh orange juice and coconut water, watermelon juice, things like that, you shouldn't really have a problem, but you still need to drink fresh water. Throughout my pregnancies, cold water just tastes the best. There's something about when I'm pregnant that cold water tastes so much better than lukewarm water. As soon as I'm not pregnant anymore, I'm like, sure, lukewarm water, whatever, I can have that. But while I'm pregnant, cold water is the way to go. I'm back here because this is my comfiest spot. Okay, the next one is ginger. Ginger is great for nausea. It fights inflammation. It calms the stomach if you have an upset stomach. I never really got nausea with any of my pregnancies, but some people do get a lot of nausea, and ginger is a great aid throughout that. Doesn't mean it's gonna solve all the problems, but foods with ginger in it, like ginger chews even, can help fight that, and also just ginger in general is great for fighting inflammation. I touched on this a little bit already, but I want to mention sourdough bread again because eating a healthy toast along with a nutritious topping like avocado or hummus and blistered tomatoes or a healthy nut butter is a perfect snack while pregnant, especially in the first trimester when you need to take it easy and be really gentle on yourself. Instead of getting a bread that's loaded with preservatives and white flour, opt for a fresh baked sourdough bread or even take a whack at baking it yourself. The fermentation process for sourdough bread is better for digestion, has fewer preservatives added, and can improve gut health. Another great bread option is sprouted Ezekiel bread, which is high in fiber and nutrients, and the sprouting process optimizes the bioavailability of those nutrients. But if you're gluten-free, sticking to whole grains like oats is another great option as well in the first trimester, like making oatmeal. I saved the best for last. This is not like the one at the end that I'm just putting at the end isn't that important. No, this one is very important. And I kind of touched on it when we were talking about fresh orange juice, but fresh fruit, just in general, lots of fresh fruit. Whatever local fruit you can get your hands on when it's in season for you especially is gonna have more nutrients in it because it's more likely to have been picked fresh, ripe off the tree or vine. But if you're living in a place that has a really strong cold season and you're not gonna be able to get fresh fruit at a certain time of your pregnancy, locally, then it doesn't mean you need to get everything local. It's just that putting an emphasis on when you can. If you know a neighbor that has a mulberry tree or blueberry bush or something that you're able to trade with them so that you can get some great fruit that's local, picked fresh right off the vine, that's an added benefit. But just fruit in general, I love to eat lots of fresh ripe fruit. And I just want to reiterate again that fresh fruit is not the same as ultra processed sugar. We should not be combining them as the same thing. Fresh fruit is filled with vitamins and minerals and water and fiber content that all work together to bring you nutrition and help you feel your best. Whereas processed sugar is stripped of its vitamins and minerals and water and fiber content. Fruit has all the macronutrients in it. Whole foods. That's why I recommend that book, Whole: Rethinking the Science of Nutrition, because it talks a lot about reductionist research that when people are doing studies, they're looking at an isolated nutrient and then making a generalization that, oh, because apples contain sugar in it, that must mean apples aren't good for you. No, guys, no. Any diet that tells you to limit your fruit intake, I would be wary of. Any diet that tells you to limit your fruit and vegetable intake, I would be wary of. Fresh fruits and vegetables we know are the best for our health. It's great for longevity, and it's gonna help support our body in so many ways. Definitely recommend the fresh fruit. So I hope you found this video helpful. I know I find even just inspiration just talking about it and just laying it all out there. All these foods I find very helpful for our pregnancy to support not only the baby but also our bodies as well. I got some great content coming your way in the future, but in the meantime, check out my podcast, the Ellen Fisher Podcast, which is where I'm putting a lot of my energy into right now, and I'm loving it. Got some great episodes coming up. All right, I will see you next time.